houses, moving homes.
Oh,
Not like moving, but moving homes, like moving from one home to another. Did you? What'd you say? No, but I hate moving. I'm actually going to move in a couple months, and literally move. And I'm kind of excited about moving. I'm moving back to my hometown. When I move to my hometown, I'll be around my family, and it'll be great. It'll be wonderful. However, I am not looking forward to packing boxes and unpacking boxes. I'm about to use some language here. That shit is awful. We think about like packing and unpacking, especially the unpacking. The unpacking is back-breaking work. We are like lifting boxes and putting them in one room, or I'm going to actually have my brothers help me move, so I'm going to just write on the boxes, this belongs in the kitchen, this belongs in this bedroom. They're still going to mess it up, but at least I'll know for my own reference. It's back-breaking work. One of the things that I frequently say in teaching and in trainings is, let's unpack this. And I've been saying that for years. Let's unpack this. And it wasn't until recently that I started to consider that language. Language is my thing. I love language. But I started to consider that language and what that really means in terms of understanding diversity and moving forward, right? In progress. What does that mean to unpack this? And really to unpack it. When we are in a society that kind of is consumed with race and sex and gender and all of these things, and yet we are afraid of being in religion, we're in political orientation, and yet we're afraid of being politically incorrect, we have stuff in our minds in boxes, right? So imagine being in this home, brand new home. You're excited about moving into this home, but you're in a room filled with boxes. Now, we could choose to go ahead and unpack those boxes. We can choose to put the pots and pans in the right place, or we can choose to just order pizza for the first week. But the reality is we still got those boxes, right? What's in those boxes then aren't visible. What's in those boxes, we know that it is there, but we have not yet pulled it out, so it's almost rendered invisible, right? And so I know I have some pots and pans, but it's invisible. I can't use it. I can't do anything about it. I can't evaluate it. I can't dust it off. I can't kind of change it to make sure that it is appropriate, right? It might be broken in the box. I don't know, right? Now, if we attach that to kind of these ideas that we have in our minds, sometimes those ideas are actually pots and pans that are broken. We got to pull them out of the box, evaluate it. What should I do with this pot that is no longer of use? What should I do with this stereotype that really doesn't fit anything other than an old model of something? I was just talking to this group about single parents and divorced families. Back in the 1970s and 1980s, there was this kind of overarching theme of parents should stay together for the kids. And there are some people who still believe that. That's something that's packed in a box, right? We have some research, though, that says, no, parents shouldn't actually, if the relationship doesn't work, parents shouldn't actually stay together for the kids. They should actually get apart for the kids and then co-parent successfully. But if I have that thing in my box, that idea in my box, I'll never be able to evaluate it. So the benefit, I think, of having these conversations is that it allows us to kind of go into our boxes, see what's in there, see what's useful, see what we can use, put it away. Now, again, the reality is, once we take the stuff out of our boxes, once we declutter that space, first of all, there's freedom. We can move around our brand new home, happy. But then after we use that tool, after we use that pan, we still have to clean it off again, right? So the work doesn't end after we have unpacked, is really what I'm saying. The work doesn't end after we have unpacked in our new home. The work doesn't end after we have gone through a cultural diversity training. The work still continues, right? So the training and the unpacking piece only allows us to see what's in our boxes and to use the tools that's in our boxes. Again, sometimes we might have to throw some stuff away, but at least we can keep the useful stuff. And then we can go buy some new stuff if we've thrown too much stuff away, which is my favorite sport. Going to buy some new stuff, right? That's the benefit, right? So you all see that connection? Being able to unpack the boxes in our mind is so, for me, empowering, right? It allows us to declutter. When we come into contact with people who, again, that we thought weren't really like us, once we have unpacked that stuff in our box, we can, wait a minute, it's decluttered. I can see you for who you are. I have just rendered the invisible visible. Right? Does that make sense? That to me is really, really powerful. So keep that in mind as we move forward, because now I'm about to start talking about prejudice. It's kind of a difficult conversation to have. Prejudice. And diversity and inclusion. Let's define some